Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today back at Alton Towers with David.
For the fourth time now, I'm here.
I don't know, I've lost count. We're also going to be joined by Nathan and we're here at the Towers Times Twisted Vengeance event. Yeah, so we're just waiting outside the shop now. I did the makeup, by the way, as you might be able to tell. Looks lovely. So we're just going to be probably spending the morning like Forbidden Valley, looking through the shop, going on Nemi.
Can't leave this place.
Maybe Curse, I don't know. I think the Joneses are meant to be here as well, so I might meet up with them and yeah, then go to the event and socialise with people.
Woo.
Yay.
All like
Just a little bit. Just a smidge, yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling great. Yeah.
All lies. All lies. I'm telling you, they cannot be trusted. You look like you seek the truth. They all seek the truth. You seek the truth. They're lying to you. Lying to you. Lying to you. They're lying to us. They're lying to us all. It's ridiculous. They need to be stopped. Favour Percy and the pies. Phalanx tell lies. Who? Oh good, they can stay far away. They don't belong around here. His heart. We will set her free. We will let her be. Nemesis is sad. Nemesis is mad. That's why the phalanx are bad. That's why it's so bad. Spread the word. Spread the word. Spread the word. Spread the word. Speak the truth. Spread the word. It's all lies.
Right, so we've just been on Nemi Reborn, been joined by Nathan now.
Hello.
Yeah, it was a pretty good ride. I mean, considering my restraint was quite loose, I thought it actually wasn't too rough on it, like it didn't like throw me about too much, so that was good. But yeah, there'll be more rides later with the RT. So now we're going to see the R-Cade, because apparently that's opened, which I predicted on Twitter. I actually predicted that it was going to open, so yeah, we'll go and see that and see how good it is. I think it's just a few arcade machines. Oh my god, guys, we're going to the most exciting part of Forbidden Valley, the R-Cade. Well, there's a lot of space. You can even get an echo.
It smells fresh.
At least they've tried to theme it. Oh, look at the poor bear. At least they got some Nemi prizes you can win. Big eyeballs. Won't be able to take one of these anyway, it's too big. Okay, so now we're in the Tower Suite for the Towers Times event. Just waiting for it to start. So, we all excited?
Yes. Yeah.
3 days later.
Okay, so a few days later now, on the Tuesday, so, you know, quite removed from the event now. So you may be wondering why I'm filming this bit afterwards. As usual, got depressed. Yay, that happened again. Yeah, I think the last point where I cut off was the kind of like main event was about to start. Like, you know, we're in the Tower Suite and stuff, waiting to do the quiz and have the Q&A talk. About like 5-10 minutes in, I just started to like dissociate and become depressed. Again, as usual, no one else's fault. It's not like, you know, I keep having to say this, but it's like, it's not like the, you know, event's fault or anything like that. It's literally all this shit in my head. No one else's fault. Just want to clarify that. When we were in there, we had the quiz to start off with, which was to do with like Nemesis, Forbidden Valley, all this. I think there were like 3 different sections. So there was one for the original Nemesis from 1994, then Nemesis Reborn, and then Forbidden Valley. I think I got 7 answers right. Yeah, that's actually better than I thought I'd do. And they had like 5 different like sets of prizes as well, which was great. And then we had the talk from, I'll just have to double check the name.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, so it was Dave Taylor, who's the senior project manager. So I think you probably might have seen him in some of the videos that they did for like kind of showing a bit of the behind the scenes of Nemesis Reborn. But he's essentially the guy who once like they kind of get all the creative stuff from John Burton and people like that, from like the Merlin Magic making team. He is essentially the guy who brings it to life, essentially, you know, goes through like all the different like planning permissions and, you know, all the construction, and yeah, it's basically the one who kind of puts all that together. And yeah, it was quite interesting to hear that side of it, I guess, because I think through most of the talks and stuff we mainly heard like the creative side. Obviously through Bianca Sammet we've heard like the kind of like general towers operations and running and management and stuff like that. But yeah, from this we actually got to hear a bit more about the the kind of more practical side of it, I guess. So yes, that was interesting. But I think, to be honest, throughout all the stuff in the Tower Suite, I was just like completely out of it, as I say, because of the depression stuff, and just completely like dissociated and went into a depressive episode. I always wonder whether I'm using like the right terminology for that, because like, for example, some people call a depressive episode like it has to be over 2 weeks. I kind of call it just whenever I get incredibly depressed for a good period of time, which is what happened there. But then as I was leaving, I actually bumped into someone who I recognised from Twitter, which was Laura W. I think I actually mentioned her in the last channel update when I went through like a list of people. So I briefly met her. She introduced herself, very nice to meet her, and then we basically spent the rest of the day together. I was with her group. I don't remember all the names of everyone. I know there was another James in that group, so it was very nice to meet him. But yeah, I think it was just nice to have like a little bit of a refresh with someone new and everything. I think also because I kind of like put a lot of pressure on myself to try and introduce myself to someone who I recognise, like, you know, like a Twitter moot in a way. Yeah, I feel like that was kind of bringing me down a bit, and so actually being able to, you know, meet someone else, and she was lovely, by the way. Really nice to meet you, Laura. Hopefully we can meet up at some other point at different events or whatever. But yeah, so for the rest of the day, we went back to Forbidden Valley. Laura did Nemesis Subterra for the first time. There were actually some pretty good scare actors as well in the finale bit as well. One that actually like kind of jumped out like with a hand right towards my face, which was brilliant. I just wish that bit was a bit longer, like the final kind of like scare mazy bit. But there was also like there was our little group of like 4 of us at that point, and then there was also like a massive group of I can't remember, I think it was like a alopecia like awareness group or something, so you know, it was nice to have them in. But yeah, they were just screaming their heads off most of the time. And then we went on to Nemesis Reborn. Again, Laura's first time kind of seeing the new area, which was great to get those reactions. Then we went to Wickerman to do that, which was nice to get back on that again. Yeah, I think I was on row 4, which, yep, again, wasn't too bad. I think I definitely preferred the one on row 10. I think I got like a lot more kind of speed with that and stuff. But yeah, row 4 was pretty solid, considering it's not like right at the front or anything. And then we did a final Octonauts takeover at the end of the day, which yeah, was just nice and fun, just a fun little ride, to be honest. And then we went to Forbidden Valley to do the ERT for Nemi Reborn. And yeah, you know, it was good to be back on it again. It was kind of funny when we were doing like kind of the big group photo by the Nemesis Eye. We were all very cramped together, but it was also that the different like claws kept moving, and it was like really, it was kind of more unnerving in a way, being so close to the claws when they were like moving and stuff, which was quite funny. But yeah, I think during the ERT I kind of dipped back down again. I kind of had this realization ago, or kind of like reminder in a way, that it feels like I'm kind of having to like constantly push the depression back. Like even if I'm, you know, feeling all right in the moment, the depression's always kind of still there in the background. Which means, yeah, it's just like a constant battle, having to try and like push it away. And so I think by the end of the day, I'd just like, you know, just I guess kind of worn out, but also just those kind of distractions went in a way, and it meant that, you know, I've just felt it creeping back in again. But yeah, you know, I had some decent rides on it, which was good. And also I've got to thank like everyone who kind of complimented the makeup as well, because before the event I was feeling very self-conscious about it. As I mentioned in the Power Simulator video that I did like a poll to see, you know, whether people thought I should do it or not. And yeah, it's because I was feeling very self-conscious about doing it. You know, I thought it might be kind of weird outside of scare season to do it, but yeah, I got loads of lovely comments about it from loads of people, which is great. And then we ended the day and I came back home incredibly tired. So overall, I have to say, like, regardless of, you know, my mental illness and how that affected me, I think the event overall was a really solid event to start off the year as well. I was thinking as well, I might actually like name a few people, obviously all good things to say, but just to show that it's definitely nothing to do with the event or anything like that, it's all my own stuff. But yeah, there's the main kind of guy who runs Towers Times Attraction Source, Chris. He's always really great. I remember it was actually quite nice at the beginning as well. He was kind of doing the big introduction.
that he said that if there's anyone who was kind of on their own for the day, that just to let one of the members of the team know, and then like, you know, you could, you know, they were letting people like kind of join the kind of Towers Times group in a way, like, you know, the group of kind of like staff members. I mean, I guess they are staff members, aren't they? But yeah, kind of like letting them join that group, which I think is just a really nice offer in a way, because yeah, as I mentioned about with the summer event when I was on my own, like that was, you know, it was quite difficult with that. And so yeah, I think that's a very nice thing for them to offer that. There's also another Chris who, because I had to actually double check the names before this, and there's another Chris who, I think he's the one with the glasses. Yeah, and I met him on the Nemi Reborn ERT because we were on the same row for a couple of them. I think it was for the last few rides that we had. And every event that I've been to, whenever I've talked with him, he's always just been really nice and really talkative. Normally, like a lot of the Scare Amazing ones and stuff, he's just been great. So yeah, so it's always really nice to talk to him. Of course, there's like Craig as well, Craig Toy. He's always just really nice, happy, really positive. Gave us a lollipop again, though, with the lipstick that I had on. The amount of lipstick that went onto the stick for the lollipop was just crazy. But yeah, it's always nice to meet Craig as well. And yeah, I mean, I'm hoping as the events go on, I'm hoping to try and make it to more events this year. Obviously, depends on finances and stuff like that, and whether I can actually make it down to them all. But yeah, I'm hoping that as the more events go on, I might be able to, you know, make more friends, get to know more people. I remember there was one person who I didn't get to say hello to because I think it was just, I didn't really want to bother in a way. It was, I think I mentioned it before, Nikki Lush Velvet Coasters. Yeah, and I did see her at the event, but I was kind of like too shy to go up and say hello. I know Laura did actually, so it was nice that, you know, she got to interact with her. But yeah, you know, maybe one day I might be able to interact with people like that, you know, and yeah, just try and make more connections in a way. But again, it's just, it's trying to balance all that with the mental health stuff, because like after this event, like since Saturday night, I've just been feeling like awful since. And again, not the event's fault, it's just all in, you know, all my mental health shit that I have to deal with. But yeah, so since then I've not been doing great. I probably won't go into that fully now because I'll probably go into that in the next video, which will be a channel update, because I have a bit of an update, not just mental health stuff, although it probably will feature a good amount of that. But yeah, it's going to also have a bit of a update for the channel. Nothing bad, just kind of pushing something forwards that I've been meaning to do for a while. But yeah, I'd say the event was pretty great, to be honest. I wish I could have enjoyed it more, but you know, the depression's always going to get in the way whether I like it or not. So yeah, so I don't know when the next event I might do is. I know they're doing one at Drayton Manor. I'd like to try and get to that one because it's a little bit further than Towers, so it's just whether I can get a lift up there, and obviously if I have the money for the tickets and stuff, because I'd also have to pay for a Drayton Manor ticket entry in as well as the event ticket as well, so it's just whether I have the money for that as well. But, you know, I would like to revisit Drayton Manor because, you know, I've only been, like, twice, and it was many years ago. Like, I was there when G-Force was still there, and when Accelerator was the Ben 10 ride. Like, so I was there a long time ago. So, yeah, so it'd be nice to go and revisit. And also, you know, as I say, just try and do more of these events and stuff. In regards to my next trip to Towers, I have no idea. I've run out of money now, so I'll have to wait till my next Universal credit payment comes in. But yeah, I might try and make my next trip a solo one, because I've been trying to do that for a bit, and last time I tried to do it, my parents came along, so yeah, I might actually try and do a proper solo trip, just to, I don't know, just try and just chill out and park for a bit, you know, hopefully not have anything that might, you know, trigger the mental health to go haywire. But yeah, the next video on the channel will be a channel update, as I mentioned. Yeah, just going over some stuff that's going to be improving the channel, hopefully, and everything else that's going on in my shitty life. So until channel update 4, I will see you next time. Bye.